Good afternoon, fellow tankers. It's Commander Denalii, and today we're taking a look at the Tier 10 heavy tank, the IS-7. The IS-7 is a wonderful tank. It can play like a medium tank if you need it to play like a medium tank. It's got some decent mobility. It's got a decent top speed and great acceleration, so you can play it like a medium tank if you need to. This thing has an M50T engine with 1,050 horsepower, and it's not a super heavy tank like an E100 where it's just tons and tons of armor being pulled by a heavy engine and barely moves. It's complemented also with a 130mm S-70 gun that fires 4.38 rounds per second with an aiming speed of 3.1 and an accuracy of 0.4. So those mid to long range shots aren't horrible, but they're just, I wouldn't suggest doing them. The average penetration for your standard shell is 250. The average penetration for your premium round is 303, and for your HE round, it's 68. Your average damage for your standard shell and your premium shell are 490 damage, and for your HE shell, 640 damage. The track traverses at 28 degrees a second, and the turret traverses at 25 degrees a second. Turret has 240 millimeters of armor in the front, 185 in the sides, and 94 in the rear. This thing has a base view range of 400 meters and a signal range of 720 meters. So here we are taking a look at the internals. It's a new feature that Wargaming put into the game so that you can see all the components of a tank, like where the engine's located, the radio, the ammunition, the crew members, and everything like that. So I'll go ahead and let you guys take a look at that and, just go over a couple more stats for this thing. As you see on this screen, it says the standard shell damage is 540 damage. That would be a mix between your standard shell and your HE shell. This thing has a lot of armor when you're facing, the front of one of these. The turret is spectacular. It's got a lot of armor, so if you need to face hug an enemy, it's wonderful. So you can face hug an E100 or a Chieftain or a T110E5, and they're very rarely going to penetrate you unless they load a premium round and put it through your upper plate. Your upper plate is like the one weak spot there, but they can't do it with a standard round because of how well angled it is. So here we'll take a look at the armor. And there you go. As you see, that turret is all red. It's got a lot of armor there, and some of it is actually spaced armor. Speaking of spaced armor, it's also got spaced armor on the sides as well. This tank is pretty easy to track. A Tier 8 light tank can track you pretty well, or a Tier 8 medium as well. You're not going to see anything less than Tier 8s on this unless you get the very rare Tier 7 light tank. Or if people platoon up and make fail platoons, and you might run across some Tier 7s. So as you can see here, I'm just going over like where all the armor is, showing you guys, where the weak points are, everything like that. This thing doesn't have a lot of armor on the top, so it is still susceptible to artillery fire. So, that artillery can hit you in the back or, in the top of the turret and still penetrate sometimes. And here's where some of the spaced armor is on the sides. Well, the secondary armor. The spaced armor is a little bit thinner. And then we're starting to get into our side armor here, which actually has some pretty nice curves and stuff. So you're not just you're not like an E100 with all those flat panels, and it's really easy to penetrate when you're flat on. This thing can still have the chance to bounce a few rounds if they're trying to shoot, as flat as possible. Premium runs, however, are another story. They'll go through the sides of your turret and sides of your hull really easy, even in some Tier 8 tanks. Over half of them. Now we're starting to look at all the big armor on this. As you can see, it's got that nice top coat right there along the top of the turret of at least 191 millimeters. And there you go, that's all the big armor. And as you can see where the upper plate meets the lower plate right there, there's also a lot of armor there. So if you hit right there where that V is, you're most likely going to bounce as well. For supplies, I like to run 20 standard rounds, 5 premium rounds, and 5 HE rounds, just in case I run across a soft target, like an open-top tank destroyer or an artillery. You know, you never know when that's going to happen. I run small repairs, small first aid, and either fire extinguisher or extra combat rations. I put the combat rations on here to get the plus 10% boost, just to show you what it can do. And for equipment, I run coated optics for an extra 10% view range at all times, because I do move constantly in this thing. Vertical stabilizers for improved accuracy while I'm moving and while I'm moving my turret. Like I said, I'm constantly moving in this tank. And then I do improved vents for the +5 to all crew skills as well. So, I mean, that's just how I play it. It hasn't done me wrong yet. Right now I've got Sixth Sense, I've got Brothers in Arms, I've got Snapshot, and Smooth Ride, and I'm training repairs. So here we are, first map of the day, and it's Northwest. And of course it's a tier 10 match, and we have a tier 7 Bulldog on our team, but everything on their team is tier 8 or above. They have a Patton Jagdpanzer E100, an STB-1, and a Maus. So they've got some pretty dangerous tanks, not to mention most of their high tier tanks are platooned up. So going into this battle, I wanted to, you know, pretty much see the flexibility of the movement on this tank. You know, I wanted to go somewhere other than the obvious, you know, down the J line over, you know, to the HJ line over, you know, to H8 and do the main fight. So instead I decided to go to the middle, go to the G6-ish area, and try to take out whatever opposition we may run into there, and flying around and take out some enemies, you know, that wouldn't be suspecting us shooting them inside. So as you can see, this tank has some pretty decent speed. You can definitely get up to about 60 kilometers per hour when you're going downhill and everything like that. So it's pretty quick for a heavy tank. So here we go, and there's an enemy STB-1, we've been detected by him, and we also spotted him as well. It's a very dangerous tank. I have one in my garage, and it's right now it's actually my favorite tank. I love the Japanese medium line, especially when you get the tier 10. So we're just trying to line up a shot on whatever comes around that corner next. I know he's not going to go there by himself because he doesn't have armor. And we got an AMX 5120 and an E100 assisting us here. And there we go. That's a Jagdpanzer E100. We're going to fire and then back up and angle. And luckily his round ate dirt right there. And he's backing up. He's got about a 20-second reload. So we're going to try to, you know, hit this STB or this Conqueror and finish them off. And as you can see, I low-rolled a little bit there. So that Conqueror, he's still alive, hanging by a thread. 5 hit points is all I needed on that to finish him. But we had to friendly finish him off. So now I'm just going to push up to the edge of this corner now that the E100's up here in place, and I'm going to assist him on this corner, especially with this Jagdpanzer E100. That STB-1 is also very dangerous. Not a lot of armor on his hull, but he's got a pretty strong turret. So we're trying to line up a shot here, and unfortunately I shoot the dead carcass of that Conqueror. So try to get another one on him maybe. Nope, he's going to get behind that building and use it for cover. But there's the Jagdpanzer E100, and good, I was angled well enough to where he bounced off of me. It looked like he went down to my front slope and bounced off my front slope, so that's good. So now we're going to call around and put a shot into him, because he's got that really long reload. And there we go, 450 damage dealt to him. And now we're going to back up. We're going to use this corner and this E100 for additional coverage, and maybe get a shot on that STB-1. And unfortunately, I screwed that shot up and I shot the carcass of that Conqueror again. And the STB-1 is hiding from me very, very well. And the 5120 finishes him off. So now we're going to go up and, oh, the Jagdpanzer just got the E100 for almost 1200 damage. So we'll put a shot for 500 into him by reverse side-scraping off the E100. And then we'll push up around this corner, because like I said, he's got that really long reload. We'll try to get another shot into him. Unfortunately, I did clip the E100 there, but that's okay because the 5120 finished him off. So good for him. So with that in mind, we know we have 2 heavies down here and 2 mediums down here to the right. So we should probably go around and help our guys down there that are fighting those guys get some flanking shots. Oh, but there's a T-32, and I don't know if he's AFK or what the deal is, but he's just going to sit there and take some shots, so we're just going to go ahead and oblige him with that and shoot him. Oh, and he can't be AFK because it just moved its turret towards me. But that's alright, we'll still finish him off, and that's our first kill of the match. So far we have spotted 1 target. We've damaged 6 individuals, 2 spot target hits, 2 crits, and 1 kill. And 2 spots now. Oh, and there's an enemy Centennial right there, so we're going to try to get a shot on him really quick. And I should have aimed in all the way because my round ate the top of that ridgeline right there. You know, that's alright, mistakes were made. So now we're just aiming in to try to get another, and he's going to move out of the way. So we're just going to slide down this hill here and get a shot on him from down here. He still doesn't know that we're there, apparently. So there we go, flanking shot. And we hit him in the fuel tank. Too bad he didn't catch on fire. That would have been nice to catch him on fire and just finish him off. But that's alright, I'll just put another one in this layer and finish him off. So there we go, we got the scores all tied up. It's 8-8 now. 5 minutes of this match gone by. And there's the enemy Mouse. And he shot the E-100. We're going to try to get a shot on him really quick. Nope. Unfortunately, we couldn't get him before he went around the corner there, so now we gotta move forward, get a shot on the lower plate maybe. Nope, our Patton's gonna block that. Okay, we're gonna aim at his turret now, wait for him to straighten out his turret, and then try to finish him off because he's on low health. Alright, there we go. So I see there's 1 tank destroyer back in the E8 area, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go back and defend the base. Let that Patton know what I'm doing, you know, because they have 3 tanks over there. Oh, and they've got the lead by 1 tank. So I'm just letting them know I'm going back to defend the base. That should be the priority right now because they are owning us over there. And they just took out another one of our heavy tanks. So now they've got us by 2 tanks on the count. It's 11-9. So they have 6 and we have 4. Our friendly 5120 is going towards their flag there, it looks like. The Patton seems to be turning around to come back and help this tank destroyer. That tank destroyer is not doing too bad himself right now. In fact, he just finished someone off. So with him sitting there and defending from there, I'm going to go up here to the left and defend the base from, you know, the far side of the flag. So yeah, like I said, this tank, it's actually got some decent mobility. Right now I'm climbing a hill and I'm going, you know, between 8 and 12 kilometers per hour going up, whereas if I was in my E-100 going up this same hill, I might be getting 5 or 6 kilometers of speed. So I do like the mobility of this tank. I am gonna, you know, get train my crew for ground resistance, so that way it does a little bit better. But even when it's stock, I mean, it's got some not great ground resistance, but pretty good for a heavy tank. So it looks like the Patton's up there helping out our tank destroyer now, and it looks like our friendly 5120 came back to assist them as well. And it looks like they have evened up the scores while I was moving this way, so that's wonderful. So we've got 1 heavy, 1 medium, 1 light, and 1 tank destroyer left on the enemy team. We're going to go up here and see where these guys are hitting at. They should be along that ridge line somewhere. That's where they were last spotted. A few of them anyway. I don't know about all of them. And there we go. That's the enemy Motherland. He's on the bridge, so we're going to aim in front of him and try to get a shot. And unfortunately, the bridge eats that round for us. So we're just going to stay here for a second. Maybe that M103 will pop back out. Yep, there he is. We got a shot at his lower plate. So we're going to go ahead and fire. And we do 514 damage to him, and he didn't like that, so he's going to try to move forward and get some better cover. And just got spotted by the Motherland. And we can't get reloaded fast enough to put a shot on him, an effective shot. But we did just bounce 2 rounds right there. And it looks like the RU-251 fired at us as well. It zinged right over us. So I'm going to go ahead and push forward on this Motherland now. That M103 doesn't seem like he's moving anywhere anytime soon because of our friendly tank destroyer. And I can't get a great shot on him, so we're just going to keep pushing forward. And we're going to go after that motherland that was up here behind this building on the train tracks. And like I said, the mobility of this is it's pretty good. If I was in, you know, another heavy tank tier 10, I probably wouldn't have made it up this far, you know, in the time that it took me. And look, the motherland's still there, and he was running away. So had I been in another heavy tank, he probably would have got a lot further away. But we do end up putting a shot into him and damaging his engine. And maybe we'll get another one. Nope, he made it back just in time.
Loaded and ready.
That's okay, because now I know they're not threatening our flag, and I can go up here and I can put pressure on these guys. Looks like their tank destroyer got taken out. So now it's 4 on our team and 3 on their team, and we've got the tank lead again, so we've got more guns, which is wonderful. I'm trying to get a shot on the M103, and he's just not having it, so I'm going to go ahead and push forward here. And I'm going to auto-lock on him. And oof, that was a good roll. Almost 600 damage on a standard shell. But he ends up finishing off our medium tank. I thought our medium tank would finish him off as he went down. So I was going to keep crossing the bridge and chase that motherland. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But if you look down on the map, on the H4 area, you've got the enemy light tank chasing our friendly heavy tank, the AMX 5120. And he's probably on the reload because it looks like he's running. So, yep, he's taken out by the light tank, unfortunately. So now it's 2 against 3. And 1 of 3 doesn't have enough elevation to shoot me. And here's the face hug. This is what this tank can do, probably the best out of any other tank. As you see, I'm just gonna face hug him. He's gonna keep looking for a shot on me. He just can't get a shot on me no matter where he aims because I've got him pinned up against the border of the map. He's trying to get the hatch, and unfortunately I'm not showing it to him. He's looking everywhere, and I'm just gonna finish him off by aiming the turret in the hole. And there we go. That's our 4th kill. Unfortunately, it looks like the light tank did end up taking out my last friendly tank. Maybe it was the medium. So now I'm going to have to defend the flag by myself. Well, and there's the enemy motherland. I'll just aim up a shot on him really quick. And he's finished off. And he damaged me and took out my track. He also did almost, looks like almost 300 damage. And that was the only shot that's penetrated me so far. So, you know, I don't know if that was a lucky shot or a premium shell, but even if it was a premium shell, that was a good shot, because I still had very good opportunity to bounce it. So, good shot on him. But now we're on 5 kills, 15 penetrating shots. I've wasted all of my standard ammunition, plus 1 premium shell. And since the last tank is a light tank, I loaded the HE shell. It's an RU-251. So, last place I seen him was down here taking care of our friendly heavy tank, so, you know, he may be moving around the backside of this mountain to try to attack our flag. And the reason I'm thinking this is the only opportunity he has to win is to cap the flag. Because with him being a tier 8 light tank, granted he's got a decent gun and he has the potential to take out an IS-7, but I do have a lot of health, so if he shows himself to me, he's pretty much screwed if I can get a shot off. So here I'm just, yep, there he is. It's an RU-251. He's got 4 kills. He had a really good game so far. Oh, and there he just popped up. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get a shot on him really quick.
Ready to fire on target.
I'm just going to aim in. And there we go. Finished him off for 515 damage on our 16th penetration of the game. And we got a top gun out of that. So alright, at the end of that match, we ended up with almost 200,000 silver. We got just over 5,000 experience because that was our first win of the day. We got high caliber with 6,500 damage dealt. We got a top gun with 6 tanks destroyed. And we got 15 penetrations and 2,890 damage blocked. And if you look there, I've got my first mark of excellence, which is fantastic. But anyway, fellow tankers, that's my nuts and bolts video for the IS-7. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to this channel and you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But you guys go out and kill some shit, and I hope to see you on the battlefield.